Hello, everybody. Good morning. And how are you? Here we are. It's a Saturday. And I'm here. I'm sat at my desk. Normally, I'm doing park runabout now. Normally, I'm out there all sweaty, running for all I'm worth around the riverbanks of beautiful Cathedral City, Durham City. But I'm not there today because at 10 o'clock, I'm on my course. I'm doing a hypnotherapy and counselling course, and that's 10 o'clock today. So yes, so I'm waiting for that to happen. And I thought, I've got time to I'm here, got time just to slip on and kind of have a bit of a chat. And I thought, what can I talk about? Well, I thought there were some things that have been in my head. I was delivering something to a group of students yesterday, some new apprentice students at Sunderland University, and it was a chance to kind of talk differently, I suppose, because just seen something in my notes that's not spelled right and it's annoying me. It was a chance to talk differently, I suppose, because those people not only are trying to balance stuff they do in life and the stuff they do at work, but now they're trying to balance study. So I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about. And there were some things that kind of cropped up in my head, not during, but also after, that made me think, oh, they're really interesting things to think about. So it meant I came up with this idea of things that you must do, things that you absolutely must do. And I made a little list of them, and I thought I'll do that Monday. And I thought, no, let's do it Saturday. So here we are. So I hope you're well. The first one is to connect with people. Media, the way we consume media now, the way we live our lives, we don't connect with people maybe as often as we used to. We don't connect with people that we don't know as often as we used to. I find that interesting. We've been watching a couple of films this week on TV. Normally you would have gone to the cinema to watch films, wouldn't you, years ago? So we used to be around people, around other people, and I think we get a more cohesive kind of view of society when we're out doing things with other people, even when we don't know them. And that's really interesting. Maybe I'm not sure what the research says on that, but be worth finding out. But anyway, the happiness literature, as I've said before, that's why I'm doing this one first, get it out of the way, because I say this many times, is the way to happiness is time on your own and time connected with other people. And there is research evidence, because I've read it very recently, the last few months anyway, that connecting like this is good, but it's not as good as connecting in real life, in a physical space. So connect like this by all means. It's really good, and it's really helpful for us. But you also need to connect in real spaces, which is really important. And then the next thing, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat, and that's the next thing that wasn't set up. Avoid avoidance. We avoid things, don't we? We tend to avoid the things that we don't like to do. We tend to avoid the things that might be difficult. We tend to avoid things because they're a bit big. These are the roots of procrastination. And one of the things that I kind of always talk about towards the end of the training I do is eat your frogs. Again, this is one that I've probably mentioned. I think I've probably mentioned all of these at the past. I'm just pulling them together, really. Eat your frogs. Mark Twain. This is Mark Twain, the American author. If you had eaten a live frog at the start of every day, the rest of your day would probably be all right, because eating a live frog is a bit rubbish. So avoid avoidance. Stop avoiding the things that you don't want to do, because if you keep avoiding the things that you don't want to do, then while you're doing the things you do want to do, the things you're avoiding are niggling away in the back of your mind. So it's much better to get up and do those things, get on and do those things, and get them out of the way. So yeah, and within all of that, when you're doing things, avoid perfectionism. Become, and I'm one of these, definitely, this is my mantra, become an 80%er. 80% right and done is better than not done. 80% done, 80% right and done is better than not done. But we strive for perfection, don't we? We strive for perfection all the time. And seldom hit it. The book that I put out a while back, the little booklet thing on managing your emails. Pored over it, proofreading it, time and time again. Published it, got it out there, got a print copy sent to me, opened it up, second page I looked at, typo, unbelievable. And it was like, well, what do I do with that? Well, I thought, well, I know it's there now, so I'll go and change it. You know what I mean? So actually striving for perfectionism didn't pick that typo up. So if you've got about 80% there, then is that not good enough? You know, if you set out to go to the gym 5 times a week and you go 4 times, great, brilliant. You know, if you set out to go for a walk, you know, every day and you do it 5, 6 times, 4, 5, 6 times, great, fabulous. Become an 80%er. Try and avoid perfectionism. Still be excellent. Still be excellent. You can be excellent without being perfect, because nothing's perfect. That's something that we have to accept, isn't it, really? Set boundaries. Two things here. Set boundaries, and then don't feel guilty about the boundaries. Okay. Put free time or me time, self-care time, put it in your schedule. This is one of the things that people don't do. They leave their self-care to chance. Okay. They think, well, I'll definitely go for a run. I'll definitely prepare some meals for next week. I'll definitely do this, that, or the other. Definitely do all these things. I'll definitely work on my personal life schedule for next week. I'll definitely do that. And then they don't put it in their schedule. And then they don't do it. There's something about writing it down. There's something about committing to it by writing it down that actually makes it happen more often than not, 80% of the time. See, they're all connected. See? So put your schedule and put your time for doing the scheduling your free time and me time in your calendar, and then schedule your free time and your me time. It might just be 10 minutes here, there, and everywhere. It might just be go for a run, maybe go for a walk. It might be take the kids to the park. You know, like, what are you going to do with all of those kind of things? What are you going to do with them? In my calendar, every morning, it says, read, exercise, meditate, walk the dog. Every morning, those are little half-hour blocks. And every day it says lunch at the top. And lunch always happens. I absolutely cast iron guarantee. It's very important. And the other things, the other 4, I don't always do all 4 of those in the morning, 80%er, but I do most of them. And if I don't do them, because they're in my calendar and I look at my calendar daily, hourly, regularly, they just nag away at me and go, yeah, I need to meditate. That's really important. I need to get some exercise. That's really important. I need to read. That's really important. And I need to walk the dog. That's very important. Also to the dog. So, you know, so those kind of things, if they're there niggling away at you, just reminding you that these are important things, put them in your calendar. Putting it in your calendar doesn't mean you necessarily have to do it. It means you're setting your intention to do it. But sometimes you might get up and I might read for a bit longer, you know, and I think, oh, I'll skip the meditation today. Bad move in general. But overall, if across the week you do it more often than not, 80% rule, then happy days, you know. So there's flexibility in this planning. But what the planning does, what setting boundaries, that's my time for that thing. And I'm not going to feel guilty about that. Setting time aside means, and put it in your calendar, putting these things, scheduling these things, means they're more likely to happen, and you're more likely to feel good as a consequence of doing those kind of things. And the other thing, the final thing is declutter regularly. Now, I have a lot of stuff in this room, and it's all, I would argue, necessary. You know, the books and all that kind of stuff. It all serves a purpose. But every so often, because I've dragged books off shelves and I've kind of stacked them up and stuff, you know, just because I'm using them for a task, and then they don't get put back and stuff to the, you know what I mean? So decluttering. And then I have a look through them, I suppose, and sometimes the stuff ends up in here that doesn't need to be in here, or I've got a little stash down here that you can't see of all the paperwork and stuff that comes in. Every so often I need to declutter that. I'm hopefully going to do that this weekend. Declutter all of that regularly, because it accumulates. And as you know, I'm fond of saying, I have a little post-it note here with things written on. Look, I've got a post-it note there just with numbers written on, kind of random numbers. Look, just, you can see in there, the light shine. Just, I know what it is, but like, I don't need it anymore. But they accumulate. So declutter, get rid of the stuff. And even if you might even have a lot of stuff. And as long as the stuff's necessary, that's fine. But if it's untidy and it's cluttered with other stuff that isn't necessary, you need to get rid of that stuff. So there you go. So connect. Here's the lowdown. Here are the things for today. Here are the things, and you might be able to kind of plot these for next week. You might be able to do some of these things today. Connect. Make sure you're spending this weekend. Make sure you're spending time on your own. Making sure you're spending time with other people. If you've got things you're avoiding that you can do over the weekend, get them done. Get them done early in the day. Have a great day after that. Set boundaries. Don't feel guilty about setting boundaries, about setting time aside. Plan your time into your calendar. Plan your free time and your me time into your calendar. And become an 80%er. Accept that sometimes some of the things you plan to do, you won't get to do. You can move them somewhere else, or just go, I didn't get to do that. Fine. Do that. And declutter your environment. Tidy up your environment on a regular basis. Tidy environment, tidy mind. Happy Saturdays. Have good ones. I'm going to go and get myself ready for my class. Excellent. Great day. See you soon.